Hey everybody, Greg Nelson here. Hey, thanks for joining me on this video of Simply Sales. Today we're going to cover the inbound sales call. How to professionally handle an inbound sales call when a client calls into your organization or place of business, whether you have a showroom or storefront setting or whether your business is all completely done by web-based sales and e-commerce, and maybe you have a number on your website to call for help and a customer just called in because instead of putting all their information online to buy that said product. Regardless of what it is, the process of how we're going to handle the phone call up until a point until the very bottom of this process will pretty much remain the same. This formula that I have on how to handle the inbound sales call will do a couple things. It will satisfy the customer's needs of why they are calling your store. It will also solidify in the client's mind that they've called the right place and you're the right person. You sound good on the phone, you seem intelligent, you sound upbeat and positive, and you're answering their questions in a non-invasive manner. So with that, I wanted to start primarily with your tone of your voice. Regardless of whether we're in front of a person or on the phone, our body language has a lot to do with the tone of our voice. And when you're on the phone, I have this written out here that says smile with the little cherub there, and I used to have this on a post-it note cut out and taped right onto the frame of my computer. I did a lot of phone work for the past 10 years in sales over the phone, and it was just a constant reminder when I got carried away with the thought pattern of where I was going to go or how I was going to schedule that customer to come in. And as we're just normally talking and thinking, the smile on our face drops down. So it's just an important reminder to always smile, because when you're smiling, the client on the other side, the guest, the person calling in, they can hear that. Everybody likes to talk with somebody who's a little bit more upbeat and chipper than somebody who's kind of down in the dumps like they got a poopy diaper. Obviously, you know, I have kids. So the objective of the sales call is to schedule an appointment if you're in a showroom, home, or in-person setting, or to sell your product and fill a customer's need if you're an online store. You're not doing in-person selling. So these are two types of the selling that typically you're going to have when you're calling. You could be a manufacturer, so maybe that customer isn't going to walk in to your store, knock on your door, and enter into a showroom type setting. So with that, you go into your greeting, okay? And so we want to have a positive, as I said, smile, sit up straight in your chair or stand up on the phone, and just have a smile, positive, happy-go-lucky greeting. If you have an automated phone system that has a preset recording of the place of your business, when they hit that automated number 1 or 2, what department it's going to go to, when it goes to you, there's no need to repeat the name of your business again. It's already been done by a professional automated service. You could answer sales department, this is Frank, sales department, this is Susie, and then you could carry on that way. Or if you don't have an automated, obviously you want to be professional. Hey, thank you for calling ABC Automotive today. My name is Joe. How may I be of service to you? Or what information can I provide to you today? So a professional greeting like that lets the client know exactly who they're talking to and that they're talking to a professional. Have we ever called a place of business and somebody picks up the phone and goes, excuse me, ABC Motors? Because right there, that client has just lost all credibility speaking with that individual. Even if they don't consciously know it, subconsciously, regardless of whether we're in person or we're on the phone, they're going to formulate an opinion of us subconsciously within 4 to 5 seconds. So I did line out the steps of the sale because it is very similar to the steps of how we're going to handle the inbound sales call. Step number 2, do you have that product that I'm calling in about, or what's the price on said product? This right here is their direct questions. Why do the customers just ask direct questions like that? Maybe the product you're selling, maybe that certain model has multiple different options and features and add-ons that you can put onto that said product. So knowing what is specific to the customer's wants and needs in that product will have a direct reflection on the price. So it's kind of a loaded question. your spouse says, do these jeans make me look fat, right? It's a loaded question. There's really no correct answer, but there's a proper way to handle this question, okay? So A, what should you do? You go into fact finding. Blank in this is, you would say something similar to this. Blank comes with different options and features that have a direct reflection on the price of this model. How would you like your blank equipped? What type of features or add-ons would you like to have on your blank? And what that does is that now takes them from what's the best price on this, they are visualizing themselves using that product and actually actively thinking about the features that are important to them in that product. So what you're doing is you're engaging the customer into a conversation. So the customer's just going to tell you, and if you're happy-go-lucky, they're probably going to, they may hold their cards close to their vest, right? Sales is kind of like a poker game. And so they may hold their cards close to their vest, and they may not want to open up and be friendly and chipper back to you. Just take it as a grain of salt, like water off a duck's back. Pay it no mind whatsoever. The last thing you want to do is show aggression, show that you're upset, frustrated that you're not getting anywhere in the sales call. You want to remain with that happy-go-lucky, smiley attitude. Okay? So how would you like your blank equipped? What features are important to you on blank? And then or you could do this one. That model is priced in between blank and blank, depending on the options, features, and add-ons that you're going to want to have on that items. What is that in your range, and which features are important to you? That also opens up that price. But now, to me, I like A better, because B, now you're still talking about the price of the vehicle. With A, you've moved off of the price, now you're onto the features. Both of these will work fine. I just like A better because it's not talking about the price any longer. The whole purpose of the phone call, if it's a showroom setting, is to do what? Is to schedule the appointment. So therefore, we want to kind of get off price and start talking to them about the wants and needs of the product that's going to fill their need. Number 3, check on availability. So this is great. Hey, look, you're like, hey, okay. So we repeat back. Now this is very important. If you repeat back everything that customer is looking for, you will have a greater chance of making the sale at the end. So repeat back the wants and needs. You know why? Because this is telling the customer that I'm listening to you. I am actively listening to what's important to you. And human beings want to feel important. We're all the most important person to ourselves. So now we're going to check on the availability of that product. Do you see how logical this is? Just moving right through the steps. Okay, if you're happy-go-lucky and you got now, so every once in a while, 1 out of 100 or 1 out of 1,000 people aren't going to play the game. They're just not. They're going to just be rude. They're going to be just jerks on the phone, very short with you. They may hang up on you. They may call you a dirty name. That's just the life we live in. But now we're on number 3. We're going to check on availability. So right here, not only that, hey, folks, I'm going to, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, I'm going to check on the availability of that product to see if we have what you're looking for in stock, or if I have something very similar to that in stock. Maybe I have, and then you may tell them, maybe I have that same model, but it may not have or a feature that's on your want list, or it may have an added feature that you didn't mention. But let me check on that. So could you please spell your last name for me? So now you want to gather the prospect's info. The reason why we want to ask for the spelling of their last name is just like why we're going to repeat back all the items they told us was important to them on their product. It's because it shows that we care about the customer. Okay, there's many different ways. My last name is Nelson, spelled N-E-L-S-O-N. There's also N-E-L-S-E-N. If I walk in and I saw my name on an appointment board, or there was, a pre-filled out worksheet and they have my name misspelled, well, it's not going to leave me with the most warm and fuzzy feeling that they didn't care enough to know how to spell my name. So ask how to spell their last name, then ask what their first name is. If it's Bob, you don't need to know how to spell Bob, right? And unless if it's something, if it's a name you don't understand, hey, could you pronounce that again for me? And that shows you're actively listening and caring about the customer and their needs. And then gather their phone number. Okay, and your phone number is. You just pause in between and let them, if you just ask them what your phone number is and let them give it to you, they'll give it to you. After this phone call, would you prefer an email or would it be okay to text? But if they give you a verbal okay that it's okay to text, you can move your whole conversation right to text if it's easier for you. And heck, you could be doing that on the go while you're maybe checking on a product for another customer. Anyway, text is a great tool. And then also to call you back with more information. So I'm going to check on the availability. I'm going to call you back with that information to see if we have what you're looking for available or something similar. But then 3A is we're not going to call them back. We may have to call them back if we truly don't have that product, but if you're a professional and you know your product and you know what's in stock, you know how many are sitting in the warehouse, you know how many the manufacturer's building and sending to your distribution center. If that's the situation, there's no real need to call them back. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to put them on hold. Why do we put the caller on hold? For two reasons. They have a list and they have their own, consumer has their own game plan and their own list of everybody they're going to call, and they're going to go down the list of on their notepad, and they're looking to cross off every single one until they find exactly what they're looking for. And only then and there, what then they want to do is then they want to shop all three people and pin everybody against each other, and that's a can of worms you just don't need to open. Especially if you have a product and you can fulfill the need. I mean, look, if you go into look for a Dell laptop computer, I guarantee you that same model with the same specs, everything at 3 different stores, they're all going to be within $10 or $20 of each other. So really, is the customer really gaining any ground? To me, $10 or $20 is better spent at a place that's going to truly listen to me and take care of my needs and treat me with great customer service versus me, saving $10 on a shitty experience. Hold. So the other reason why we put them on hold is because they're going to go through their list, they're going to cross off. So the minute you hang up the phone, they're already on the phone dialing the next store to see if they have that available. Oh, while he's checking on the availability of that's going to buy me a couple minutes. I'll just call the next place. And then so when we go to call the store back who's checking on the availability of that product, we can never get a hold of them, or another sales associate picks up the phone, does it the proper way, sets the appointment, brings the guest into the store. Number 4, great news. So when you get back, you put them on hold. How long do you put them on hold? Briefly. No more than 10 seconds. No more 10 seconds. Briefly. Okay. And then great news. Hey, when you get back, have a really bring up the volume and really bring up your enthusiasm in this. Maybe not the volume like where you're going to blow their eardrum, but really get happy and play the game. It's great news. Hey, we have that product available. When's the best time you can come in? Right now or a little later today? If you give the customer 2 options on an appointment, well, I can't make it in today. Okay, no problem. No problem. If today doesn't work good, how does tomorrow sound? And then do you see how that goes? Well, tomorrow's no good for me either. Hey, no, I completely understand. And you know what? Quite honestly, we're having a big sale right now too, and the traffic in the store is busier than normal. I understand that right now is not a great time. When would be the best time for you to be able to come in where we can meet and I could sit down and show you what we have available to fulfill your need? Does over the weekend work or midweek? On the weekend, great. Saturday, Sunday, morning, afternoon, evening, pin them down, create your appointment. And when you set your appointment, set it on the 15 or the 45 of the hour. Do not set it on the 12, on the top of the hour or on the 30. The top of the hour on the 30s are, I happen to be in the area, I'll swing by around that time. Have you ever noticed when you go into a doctor's or a dentist office, they never give you an appointment that's on the top of the hour or on the 30. Statistically, they've researched the appointments, and they know clients are more likely to keep their appointment if it's set on a 15 or a 45, or even on a, say, an '07. Hey, 307 work? Do you need to do it right at 3, or can we do it at 307? I like to do the 15. Hey, look, I have an earlier appointment that may run a little longer than expected. Do you need to do it right at 3, or can we do it at 3:15? If you're getting along with this point, of course I'm going to say 3:15. 3:15 will be great. Excellent. Do you have a pen handy? So now we've scheduled the appointment. Or if you are on an online situation, or everything is up the same up until this point. But now if you are an online store, not a person, manufacturer, warehouse, now what you want to do is now you want to go into the product selection. You've done your fact finding, and if you've seen the last videos on the steps of the sale on the product selection, you want to give 2 to 3. You want to give the main one that meets their needs exactly. Then you want to give a second choice and a third choice. This one may cost a little more and have a little features. This one may have a little less features and will save them more money. But if you give them those 3 options right here, you give them, they're going to pick one of them. Because we give people the options, they're going to pick one, and then they will never, the chance of them returning or having buyer's remorse on that one product is considerably less, because it's the customer's decision on which product they wanted to buy. So hey, we do have that Dell laptop equipped exactly the way you're looking for it. The price of that Dell laptop is $12.99. However, I do have a Dell laptop with the same configurations, but the screen is 3 inches larger, and it's only $14.99. Or I have one just like it with a screen size that's 2 inches smaller, and it's $1,099. Which one works best for you? One thing I don't think a lot of the society understands is they think that our commission is going to be larger if the dollar amount of what we're selling is larger. In a house situation, that's true, because you're the broker, the agent, they're paid a commission of the sale of the house. Any other industry, just about any other industry, you're paid on the gross profit of what the store bought it for, based off what the retail price is, and that's the commission that the salesperson is paid off. So if all these are, if they're not advertised specials or advertised units, and they have not been reduced at the store level in their price, the commission is pretty much going to remain the same between all 3 of those products. I do know, however, in automobiles, you buy a new Toyota Yaris, the salesman, there's $300 markup from dealer cost to MSRP in that car. So, what are you going to negotiate, really? You're going to negotiate $75, $50. But on the other flip side of the coin, when Toyota did have the Land Cruiser out, there could have been, a few $1,000s markup in that vehicle, and that salesperson may have gotten a larger commission. A little bit different. You're talking about a $16,000 vehicle to a $86,000 vehicle. However, in most situations, like a computer or furniture, if it's relatively the same price and does pretty much the same thing, that salesperson isn't making any more money by offering you the option that's going to cost a little bit more. So with that, then if you are in a product selling, then you go into your proposal, your offer on whichever one they select. Hey, folks, number one, it's a great choice. Number one, before you make your final decision, number one, it's going to cost you $12.99 after taxes. If your state charges sales tax, it's going to cost you, $1,400, right? And we do take all major credit cards. Or you can apply for through, I know Synchrony is really popular with a lot of outfits that sell medium ticket items. Or you can apply for a Synchrony credit card, and you could pay it off at any time, and we just have to do a simple little credit check. But almost everybody gets approved because they want you to buy the product, right? So you could go that way and just take the payment over the phone, and then that would be your close. That would be your close by doing that. And then number 7, you'd have to just schedule your product delivery. And usually that is automated most of the time. So they're like, okay, hey, look, you just tell the customer it's going to be 4 to 6 weeks. Okay, and here's a tracking, you'll be emailed a tracking number through UPS. And usually then it's off their plate, it's off the manufacturer's plate, and it's on UPS's for logistics. If you're not in the online store selling situation, you would have to do this in person. So remember, if you're not in the online store selling situation, you want to always go for the appointment. And I know a lot of places are, because of the COVID pandemic, have gone to selling online. And right now, if we're still in the height of this when you see this video, if that's still the situation of where people are not coming into the stores, then you do have to go into and be the online sales rep, right? You have to, not in person, you just come in to take delivery, or we ship the car to you or ship the product to you. But not, and I think most states are pretty much in the clear right now. So you're going to go back to scheduling the appointment to get them to come in. Why? And then, because why? What are you going to do? You're going to have that product available. Maybe you set it off to the side, or you have the demo already selected out. Let's say you're selling TVs and you know exactly where it's at in your showroom floor, but you have that, and maybe in the back of the mind you've done a quick little research or rundown of your inventory, and you got a couple other items selected. So when they come into the store, then what you want to do is you want to go into number 3, your product selection. Why? We already did that on the phone. 70% of people who buy or think they want a certain item, 70% end up with something completely different. Isn't that crazy? They did all the research on that one item. They go into the store, they end up buying something else. Why? Because they played with it. They did the product demo on that, and they realized it's not going to fit our needs, honey. And then so they end up there already. They've already made the decision they're going to get something like that that's going to fill their needs. So what do? They buy it. They buy whatever they want. Whatever will, in most cases, they'll just buy. If everything's done right and you go through the steps of the sale properly, when they're in the store, they're just automatic. If that number 1 doesn't fit their needs, chances are they're buying something else. And if you can find the right product for them, you'll close that deal on that day. If not, then you got to go into follow-up. Step number 7, no close. No close, follow-up. And quite honestly, let's just say you spent 2 to 3 hours with that customer. Heck, let's say you spent 1 to 2 hours with that customer. On a busy Saturday, you got a no close out of the situation. What are most salespeople? What they do? Move on to the next one. And what a good sales associate should do, because you already have their contact information from the phone call, is an hour after they leave that store, 30 minutes after they leave that store, give that client a call. Because you're a phone pro now, right? So you want to give them a call and say, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, hey, this is John here at ABC TV. Hey, I really just want to say thank you for coming down on a Saturday on your day off to spend with me. It's such a beautiful day outside, indoors, shopping for TVs. And and then try to find out, hey, if there were one thing, and we'll talk about this on another video on the follow-up phone call, but if there were one thing that held you back from moving forward with that 65 4K HD TV, what would it have been? Would it have been the product? Was it the money? Were we not able to make that TV affordable for you? Or did I do something wrong? What was it? Right? And then you get them to open up and tell you the real reason why they're not buying. Because what they tell you in the store, that's the smoke screen. That's not the real objection. There's always a hidden objection. And the follow-up, that's where you dive in and unpeel the layers and find out where the real objection is. Because if you can solve the problem of what that objection is, because all it comes down to is comes down to 3 things. And we'll get that in a later video. But now you got great news. You scheduled your appointment. You did it on the 15th. Now you're in person. And you scheduled your appointment. Now you're on your way to selling your product. I worked in the automotive sales industry for many, many years. And one thing I can tell you with phone sales appointments is that if you can schedule 5 appointments you're guaranteed to sell one car per day. So any off time, if you are in the automotive industry, and I'm just referring back to that because that's where I spent most of my selling career in, is if you're in the automotive industry, if you can schedule 5 appointments per day, legit appointments per day, you will sell one car a day. That's the ratio. And a good salesperson, and that's if you're new. A seasoned salesperson would increase those odds and try to get it to be 2 to 3 a day out of 5 appointments. That's how you hat trick on a busy Saturday. Take one fresh up, you have one follow up, and then you sell one appointment. Bam. 5 hours, 6 hours later, you got 3 cars on the sales log, and your boss is telling you to take the afternoon off. We'll handle it from here. Go enjoy the barbecue with your family. It's a sweet life when you hit your numbers. Anyway, I hope this helps. Please get strong on the phone. This is your best weapon when it comes to sales. The phone. Not just the incoming, how to professionally handle that. You need to know how to professionally handle the inbound sales call. That's how you're going to get them into the store. To start building a relationship and start figuring out what their problem is and looking for a solution to solve their problem. And then also long term. I mean, now if you're able to make the sale with this client, turn them into a customer, man, think of how many years down the road if you do this right, how much business that one person means to you. Well, thank you again. If this helps, please hit the like button, subscribe, share this video with a friend. We'll talk to you soon. Have a great day.